Have you ever noticed something strange? The people who openly dislike you are rarely the ones who cause the most damage. The person who criticizes you to your face is usually not your greatest threat. The person who openly competes with you is not the one you should fear most. The disturbing truth is that the most dangerous enemy often smiles at you. They sit across from you at dinner, congratulate your achievements, call themselves your friend, and tell you they are happy for you. Yet something feels off. There is a subtle tension, a strange coldness when you succeed, an invisible resistance whenever you try to grow. Most people spend their lives looking for enemies in distant places. Carl Jung believed this was a mistake because the greatest dangers rarely arrive wearing the face of an enemy. They arrive wearing the face of someone familiar, someone trusted, someone close. Jung spent years studying the hidden parts of human nature and discovered that people often hide emotions even from themselves. Jealousy hides behind compliments, resentment hides behind support, competition hides behind friendship. The people who have the most access to your life also have the greatest power to influence it. Friedrich Nietzsche understood this reality as well. He warned that many people secretly resent anyone who reminds them of their own unrealized potential. The moment you begin improving your life, becoming more disciplined, more confident, or more successful, you unknowingly force others to confront their own limitations, and not everyone handles that confrontation well. Some people become inspired, others become threatened. In this video, we'll uncover 7 hidden signs that the most dangerous enemy may be living much closer than you think. By the end, you'll understand why certain relationships drain your energy, why some people become distant when you succeed, and how to protect yourself without becoming bitter or paranoid. The first sign is that they celebrate your failures more than your successes. Most people assume enemies attack directly, but hidden enemies rarely do. Instead, they reveal themselves through emotional inconsistency. When something goes wrong in your life, they suddenly become available. They listen carefully, offer sympathy, and appear deeply concerned. Yet when something wonderful happens, their enthusiasm disappears. Your promotion receives a weak response. Your achievement is quickly ignored. Your good news changes the subject. At first, this behavior seems insignificant, but psychologically it reveals something deeper. Your failure makes them comfortable because it confirms their view of the world. Your success makes them uncomfortable because it challenges it. Carl Jung believed that unacknowledged emotions often emerge through subtle behavior rather than direct confession. A person may genuinely believe they support you, yet unconsciously your progress threatens their self-image. The uncomfortable truth is that people reveal their true feelings not when you struggle, but when you rise. The second sign is that they constantly minimize your achievements. No matter what you accomplish, there is always a reason it wasn't impressive. You got promoted. You were lucky. You built a successful business. The timing was perfect. You transformed your life. Anyone could have done it. Most people mistake this behavior for honesty, but often it is psychological self-defense. Your achievement creates discomfort because it forces them to confront their own inaction. Instead of growing stronger, they reduce the value of what you've accomplished. Nietzsche described a similar phenomenon through the concept of resentment. When people cannot obtain something valuable, they often convince themselves that it was never valuable in the first place. The hidden enemy cannot compete with your progress, so they attack its significance. People who constantly diminish your victories are often revealing their own internal struggles. The third sign is curiosity without support. These individuals always want information about your life. They ask about your relationships, your plans, your finances, and your ambitions. They seem deeply interested in everything you do, but when you need support, encouragement, or genuine help, they are nowhere to be found. Why does this happen? Because information is power. A hidden enemy studies your fears, insecurities, weaknesses, and patterns, not necessarily because they have a grand plan against you, but because knowledge creates leverage. Marcus Aurelius warned against blindly trusting appearances. He understood that character is revealed through action, not conversation. Anyone can ask questions. Anyone can appear interested. The real question is who shows up when life becomes difficult. The fourth sign is constant competition. You start a new project and suddenly they start one too. You achieve a goal and they immediately need a bigger achievement. You share good news and they respond by talking about themselves. Every interaction feels like a contest. Most people mistake this for ambition, but often it is insecurity disguised as motivation. Carl Jung believed that unresolved feelings of inadequacy create compensatory behaviors. The closer someone is to you, the more likely they are to compare themselves to you. Friends, co-workers, siblings, and even partners can become trapped in silent competition. The hidden enemy is not pursuing excellence. They are pursuing superiority. One creates growth, the other creates resentment. The fifth sign is that they encourage your comfort more than your growth. Surprisingly, not all enemies criticize your ambitions. Some encourage you to abandon them. Whenever you pursue something difficult, they advise caution. Whenever you dream bigger, they recommend safety. Whenever you take a risk, they focus on the dangers. At first glance, this appears caring. Sometimes it genuinely is, but not always. Growth changes relationships. As you evolve, old dynamics disappear. People who benefited from your insecurity may unconsciously resist your transformation. Jung believed that growth requires confronting uncomfortable truths. Many people avoid this process, not only for themselves but for those around them. A hidden enemy often prefers the version of you that never outgrows them. The sixth sign is that they disappear when you need them most. Hardship reveals character, not speeches, not promises, not appearances, character. Many people enjoy being present during easy seasons because success is attractive and celebrations are enjoyable, but adversity exposes hidden priorities. When problems arise, watch carefully who disappears, who becomes unavailable, who suddenly has excuses. Stoic philosophy teaches us to judge people by their actions rather than their words. A hidden enemy may remain close while circumstances are favorable, but when support requires sacrifice, their commitment vanishes. This is often the moment when masks begin to fall. The seventh and most important sign is that they cannot tolerate your transformation. People become attached to specific versions of you: the insecure version, the struggling version, the predictable version, the version they understand and can control. When you begin changing, some people celebrate, others become uncomfortable. Your discipline highlights their excuses, your courage highlights their fear, your growth highlights their stagnation. Nietzsche believed that becoming who you truly are inevitably creates friction because growth disrupts expectations. Some relationships survive your transformation. Others survive only if you remain the same. The hidden enemy often emerges precisely when you become stronger, not weaker. The psychology behind this behavior is both simple and profound. Most people are not evil. Most people are wounded, insecure, afraid, and uncertain of their own value. Human beings constantly compare themselves to others. Status matters, recognition matters, belonging matters. When someone nearby begins succeeding, improving, or evolving, it triggers unconscious comparisons. For emotionally mature individuals, these comparisons become motivation. For emotionally immature individuals, they become resentment. The problem is not your success. The problem is what your success reflects back to them. You become a mirror, and many people fear mirrors more than enemies because mirrors reveal truths they would rather avoid. So how should you respond? First, remain calm. Awareness is more powerful than confrontation. Second, stop oversharing your plans and goals. Protect your vision before it becomes reality. Third, observe actions more than words because consistency reveals character. Fourth, establish healthy boundaries and protect your energy. Finally, stay focused on your mission because nothing frustrates resentment more than quiet progress. This lesson matters more today than ever before. Social media has created a culture of endless comparison. Every achievement is visible. Every success is public. Every improvement is measurable. People compare their private struggles to other people's highlight reels, creating insecurity on a scale humanity has never experienced before. Friendships become competitions, relationships become performances, validation becomes addictive. That is why emotional intelligence has become one of the most valuable skills of modern life. The ability to recognize hidden motives, manage your emotions, and protect your peace is no longer optional. It is essential. Today's greatest battles are often psychological, not physical. Carl Jung's warning was never about fearing people. It was about understanding them. The most dangerous enemy is rarely the stranger across the street. More often, it is the person whose hidden resentment remains invisible, the person whose smile conceals comparison, the person whose support fades when your success begins. But once you recognize these patterns, they lose much of their power. Awareness creates freedom. Clarity creates strength. Emotional intelligence creates protection. Do not become cynical. Do not become paranoid. Become observant. Continue growing. Continue improving. Continue becoming who you were meant to be. Because the people who are threatened by your growth were never meant to determine your future. As Nietzsche suggested, the individual who rises above resentment gains something far greater than approval. They gain themselves. And as Marcus Aurelius might remind us, the opinions of others can only control your life if you hand them. The keys: protect your mind, protect your purpose, and keep moving forward. Most people will never understand this truth. Now you do.